Hi all. So this will be a video where I cover the syllabus and go over important parts of the syllabus. The most important thing to remember with any of the stuff that I cover today or any of the other parts of this class, if you have any questions and you're confused, message me and let me know. You can message me by going to this messenger box right here, which, yes, you can see, and just make a new message and send that to me and all instructor or whatever, and click the little box down here that says send it to my email and just ask me any questions that you have. It's very easy to get lost in this course, especially because nobody is there to explain to you the parts that you don't understand. And everyone is going to get confused this year. Don't feel ashamed of it. Just send me a question so that I can help you. Okay, so I'm going to go through the syllabus. There is a quiz with 5 questions in it that is right below this in Blackboard. You might want to have that open in another tab while I'm going through this, because I should cover all of the answers that are on that quiz during this video. All right, so I've already covered kind of what the class is about. This class will cover intensive study of and practice in writing processes, from innovation and research to drafting, revising, and editing, both individually and collaboratively. What that means is that we will be doing a lot of writing in here. We will practice all the parts of the writing process, from brainstorming to outlining to drafting and editing. You will be working individually, and you will also be working collaboratively with other people in the class. All of those things together will be very important. Emphasis on effective rhetorical choices, including audience, purpose, arrangement, and style. Basically, that's about making sure that you are writing for the people that are going to be reading your paper, and making sure that you are writing in a professional way. Focus on, this is really important, focus on writing the academic essay as a vehicle for learning, communication, and critical analysis. So what that means is that we're going to write a lot of papers in here, but the papers you write in here are not going to be the best essays ever written. And I don't expect them to be, and you shouldn't expect them to be. That isn't the point. The point of this class is to model the research process, model critical thinking for you. That's why we are going through all of this. It is a very good way of modeling that process. So critical thinking, communication, making sure that you can explain yourself in words that make sense, making sure that you are able to think critically about the messages that you're receiving in the world. Those are both very important skills that will matter even if you never write another essay again. All right, so this is me, David Jameson. This is my office, room 220 in Old Main, and this is my office phone number. That's probably not going to matter to you very much, because I'm not going to be in that office very much, and I'm not going to be answering this phone very much. Don't try to contact me this way. If you want to contact me, you can use the messaging option that I pointed out before, or you can use my email right here. This is my email address, djameson@kilgore.edu. It is the fastest way to get in contact with me. And like I said before, if you have any questions in this class and you don't understand something, make sure to contact me, because it will be a lot easier to fix right when you have that question than it will be later on when things have really gone off the rails. Yeah, let me know if you are confused about anything. I'll be answering my emails every day from 8 to 5, and during weekends at least once. So this is a list of learning activities, the kinds of things that we'll be doing in this class. Most of the assignments that you turn in will be daily grades. So this will be brainstorming exercises and outlines for the papers you do. This could be quizzes. This could be reading exercises that you have to do. This is all sorts of different things you're going to do throughout the semester that will count as daily grades. Most of these will be completion grades as long as you've done all of the assignments and you show me that you know what you're talking about. If there's something wrong with one of them, I'll tell you to correct it for the major grades that they're leading up to. But all of these will lead up to major grades. You will do 3 grammar exercises this week, for example, and all of those will lead into the grammar tests that you'll take later on. After that, you'll be doing drafting and brainstorming activities for the different papers that you'll write, and those will lead to the actual papers that you'll produce later on. So all of these are important. You will also have a grammar test. That'll be 10% of your overall grade, and that will be next week. All the grammar stuff we study this week will matter for that test. You'll have a narrative essay. That'll be the first essay that you guys will write. That will be an essay that won't have any actual sources in it, but it will be over a form of literacy that you have in your actual life. So that could be reading or writing. It could be learning to speak another language, but it can also be a skill that you have, like learning to work at McDonald's or learning to drive a car or learning to play baseball. Any kind of skill that you have to apply over and over again in different situations is a form of literacy. You'll also have 2 research papers. The first one will be a research paper covering an issue in the field of study that you've come to college to learn for. So if you're doing radiology, you could do a paper here about the effects of radiation, or you could do a paper about burnout that radiologists face. If you're doing teaching, you could do classroom management, or you could do a paper about teaching to the test and the problem that that has caused. Stuff like that is what I'm looking for that paper. And then you will also have an argument paper that you'll write, which will also require research. In that one, I'm going to pretty much let you choose whatever you want to within a certain set of parameters. But you'll be able to make an argument and support that argument with research. And that'll be the longest paper that you write in here. You usually can pick your own topics for that one. So a lot of people write about which athlete is better, which movie series is better, or why. Or sometimes they write about things in their field of study, why people in their field should be paid more, or why there needs to be safer environments for them, or something like that. Online discussions, we will have 6 different online discussion boards during this class, and that is the main way that you guys will talk to each other. The discussion board in this class is there to take the place of the social interaction that you actually have in an actual classroom, and it's not as good as that, but this is the best thing that we have to take that place. So what those will do is 6 times during the class, you will need to turn in an initial post for those early in the week, and then you will respond to other people's posts later on in the week. Those are a big part of participation, and they're also a big part of your interaction with the class. If you're not doing those, you will lose points for them, but you will also lose attendance grades for them. And then we'll have a final exam in the last week of class, obviously. All right, and then here's how the grades break down. So 20% will be participation, just your regular daily assignments that you do. 10% will be those discussion boards. but those also count towards your attendance. I'll cover that later on. But if you're not doing these, you will end up losing a lot of points later on. The grammar exam is 10%. That'll be next week. The papers that we'll write will be 10 to 20%. So the first two will be 10%. The literacy narrative, which will be due week 3. The research paper, which will be due week 5. And the argument paper, which will be due week 7, will be 20%. And then the final exam is worth 20%. This is how, this is the major grading policy. So this is just applying to the papers. You'll turn these papers in a series of drafts where you will have, you'll do all of the process of outlining and editing and producing a paper, and then you'll turn in a first draft, and usually that will be a peer review draft that you will give to your fellow students on the discussion board. They'll look over it, they'll give you feedback, you'll give them feedback, and then everyone will have the opportunity to make corrections to their paper, and then you will turn a second draft into me. That second draft, I will go through, I will grade it and give you feedback on it. And I'll tell you what you did well on it, and I will tell you what you need to work on and point out a lot of things that need work. I'll also give you a grade for that one, and that will be a major grade. And if you like the grade that you get, let's say you get a 75, then you can keep it. If you don't like a 75 and you want a higher grade, you'll have 1 week to rewrite that paper and not rewrite it, but just make corrections to it for a higher grade. And you might go from a 75 to a 90 if you make all the corrections I tell you to make. This, I think, is fair. It means that you can make whatever grade you want to in this class as long as you're doing the work and you're participating. Yeah, so as long as you turn everything in on time and you make all the corrections that I ask you to, and you don't cheat, you should be able to make an A on all of the major papers in here. If you turn in a daily assignment late, the highest grade you can get on it is a 70. If you turn a second draft of one of those papers in late, you won't be able to rewrite it. And if you turn your final draft in late, it will not be counted. This is the grade scale. You have to make a C in this class in order to be able to pass. If you are dual credit, you need to make a 75. I'm not sure if any of y'all are. These are the educational materials that we will be using. Our primary text is known as the OER, which you'll be able to access by clicking right here. And I'll also give it to you anytime. I'll give you links to it anytime you need to be able to access it. It looks like this. It is a completely free online textbook, which has ups and downs to it. There are good things about it. It is free, obviously. That's good. It has some typos in it that I've noticed, but it is still a really good source, and it means you don't have to pay $100 for a textbook. You'll need Blackboard access, which you are using right now. You'll need access to your Kilgore College email. You will not need pens and pencils, pens and paper for this class because this is not an in-person class. You will, however, need some kind of computer access all the time. That can be your cell phone most of the time. But you need to be able to get online and check all of this stuff. You're also going to need a Google Docs account. I'll cover that when we get to that point. You should, if you have a Gmail, already have a Google Docs account. So like, if you just go up here to these little boxes, Google Docs is right there. Y'all can see this, right? Yeah. So, yeah, if you have a Gmail account, you already have a Google Docs account. If you don't have one, it's very easy to sign up for one. These are some other policies. I'll get to this one later. I did this one already. We did makeup work. If you have a grievance or complaint about the class, then you need to contact me before you contact my supervisor. If you contact them first, they will just send you back to me if you haven't already talked to me first. I don't really have any grievances or complaints, so that's usually not going to be a problem. If you need to withdraw from the course, you have to initiate that yourself. There is a document in Access KC that you would need to fill out and send to me, and then I can approve it. But yeah, make sure if you want to do that, you contact your counselor first to see with them if it's okay for you to drop. But honestly, I just recommend doing all the work. It's really not that hard. That doesn't matter for us. American with Disabilities Act. I'll cover this more later, but if you have a disability, you need to contact our Disability Services Office. Their information will be below. And make sure that I have a letter for you. I can't make accommodations for you if I do not have a letter. This doesn't matter for us. At the end of the semester, you will have the opportunity to evaluate me. So I'm not just grading you, you will also have the opportunity to grade me at the end of the semester. Okay, so this is the breakdown of the calendar. You can see here the week, and then this is the dates that week covers. And these are the different activities and when they are due for that week. So, not sure why it's written this way, but Thursday and Sunday, this means that there are two different parts to this assignment that you will need to have in on those specific days. And this is the discussion board that is involved. So if there's a discussion, it is listed over here. This isn't over the syllabus, but you will have an introducing yourself discussion this week. The first part of that discussion is due on Thursday. So you will need to introduce yourself to the class by Thursday, and then by Sunday, you will need to go in and respond to other people's introductions of themselves. And you can talk about things you have in common, like I'm also doing nursing, or I also have 6 cats, or whatever. All right, and then Sunday here, all of these are due on Sunday, so that's why it says Sunday. You can look through the calendar and see the different things that are coming up. The grammar test is week 2. The literacy narrative will be due week 3 on that Friday. The research paper is at the end of week 5, and the argument paper is at the end of week 7. Notice that when papers are due, they're usually going to be due on Friday. That is so I have a chance to grade them over the weekend and give everybody feedback on Monday. All right. And notice that the final exam is on Thursday. I'll open that earlier than that, but if you don't finish it by Thursday, then you'll be SOL. All right. Attendance for this class, the way I count attendance is participation. You can't, there's not a physical classroom to come to, and you will be doing this at whatever point in your day is convenient to you. So there isn't a place to show up to, but you do need to be participating in the class. So participation means being on the discussion board, writing discussion board posts, responding to other people's discussion board posts, and turning in the various assignments that I give you. If you don't participate in the class for an entire week, you'll lose 10 points off your overall grade. If you miss 2 weeks, it'll be 20 points. If you miss 3 weeks, I will send you a message telling you to drop the class because there won't be a way for you to pass anymore. The only excused absences from this class are medical leave or family emergencies, and those have to be documented because anybody could say that they had those otherwise. All right. Early alerts. If you miss a bunch of class, I will have the counselors, I'll send the counselors an early alert, and they will blow up your phones and be really, really annoying to make sure that you know that you're missing stuff or whatever. Announcements, at least once a week. I will send you guys an announcement. That announcement will have a video like the one that you first saw on the first day of this class. That'll tell you what's going on in the class and what we did that week, what we're doing that week, rather. So it'll cover all of the assignments, and I'll go into a little bit of detail about each one of them and tell you how to do them. And then if there's anything you don't understand after that, you can message me and I will try to clarify. So, yeah, these will go to the announcement. They'll also go to your Kilgore College email. I don't think we're gonna use Remind in here. All right, academic integrity. This is very important. The temptation to use the tools that have become available recently to cheat on this class is probably going to be very strong with some of you guys. Do not attempt to do that. Do not pass off someone else's work as your own work, and do not use ChatGPT or Gemini or the writing assist tool on Grammarly or any of those other methods to help you come up with sources or help you write your paper or write your paper for you. I won't be able to tell the difference. I will give you a 0 any of those different ways because it will show in the way that you write. I'm not, again, I don't want you to produce perfect papers. I want you to learn how to do this process yourself. And you're not going to be doing that if the computer is doing it for you. If I catch you using any of those methods in this class to cheat, you'll receive a 0 on that assignment and any assignments that led up to them. So if you are caught doing this, for example, on the research paper, you'll lose that 10% of your grade for the research paper, but you will also lose all of the grades where we brainstormed or outlined or found sources for the paper as well. And there are many different ways for me to tell that that's what you've been doing. And just don't do it. It's really not that hard. Yeah, so you are allowed to use word processor programs. I don't care about that. So if it has, where it has the little squiggly lines underneath spelling mistakes or comma errors or something like that, I do not care about you using that. You can use that as much as you want. Just don't use the AI programs that are helping you come up with words or anything. All right. And if you have any questions about what is academic dishonesty, send me a message about it because I want this to be absolutely clear, but do not do it. All right. Title IX, this probably won't come up in this class. It hardly ever does, but you have the right to a class environment that's free of discrimination and sexual harassment. If you experience any of these problems and you tell me about it, I have to report it. And if you don't want to tell me about it, you can tell Title IX people or you can tell our police department about it. But yeah, you shouldn't have to deal with that, and you don't. All right, the Writing Studio and Tutor.com. These are some resources that can help you with writing your papers. We at Kilgore College have a studio that's filled with English teachers who are very good at working with students and helping them make their papers better, and they know my expectations and they know me. So if you want to work with them, they're available 9 to 3 Monday through Thursday and 9 to noon on Fridays. And if you don't have the opportunity to work with them during that time, there is also Tutor.com. Tutor.com is not as good, but you get 4 free hours of tutoring with them, and they will connect you with an English teacher somewhere in the country that can help you with just basic writing stuff with your paper. They're not going to be as good as the Writing Studio, but they will do in a pinch. Disability services. As I said before, if you have a disability, you need to contact these people and let them know so that they can let me know. If you don't do this every single semester and have them send out a letter to your professors. Your professors will not know that you have a disability and need that kind of help. So help us help you, and get in contact with them. This is stuff we already covered. This is also stuff we already covered. Finally, disclaimer here. As instructor, I reserve the right to amend or modify this syllabus as necessary to promote the best education possible within prevailing conditions affecting this course. If our computers get hacked or something like that, we will have to make other arrangements about how to take this course. But the in-person classes, that's usually just going online. So I don't really know what we would do for you guys. But we would figure that out as we go. It's only for emergencies that I would ever use this part of the syllabus. All right, let's see how I did there. Going back to week 1, let's just make sure that I answered all of these quiz questions. Based on the class grade system, which is incorrect, so you did that one. If you missed class and want to know what we did, yeah, so check the announcements is correct for that one. According to the attendance policy, how many points will you lose? We did that. According to academic integrity statement, we did that one. What should you do if you don't understand something? You should know this. Yeah, ask for help. All right, guys. So take that quiz, get 100 on it, and then go ahead and start working on your grammar exercises. I will see all of you guys in the next video.